The receiving of the land. When Joshua had reached a venerable age, God said to him, "You've had a good, long life, but there is a lot of land still to be taken. This is the land that remains, all the districts of the Philistines and Geshurites, the land from the Shihor River east of Egypt to the border of Ekron up north, Canaanite country. There were 5 Philistine tyrants, in Gaza, in Ashdod, in Ashkelon, in Gath. In Ekron, also the Avvim from the south, all the Canaanite land from Arah, belonging to the Sidonians, to Aphek at the Amorite border, the country of the Gebalites, all Lebanon eastward from Baal Gad in the shadow of Mount Hermon to the entrance of Hamath, all who live in the mountains. From Lebanon to Misrephoth Maim, all the Sidonians. I myself will drive them out before the people of Israel. All you have to do is allot this land to Israel as an inheritance, as I have instructed you. Do it now, allot this land as an inheritance to the 9 tribes and the half-tribe of Manasseh. Land east of the Jordan. The other half-tribe of Manasseh, with the Reubenites and Gadites, had been given their inheritance by Moses on the other side of the Jordan eastward. Moses the servant of God gave it to them. This land extended from Arah at the edge of the Arnon gorge and the city in the middle of the valley, taking in the entire tableland of Medba as far as Dibon, and all the towns of Sihon king of the Amorites, who ruled from Heshbon, and out to the border of the Ammonites. It also included Gilead, the country of the people of Geshur and Makkah, all of Mount Hermon, and all Bashan as far as Salcah, the whole kingdom of Og in Bashan, who reigned in Ashtarot and Edrei. He was one of the last survivors of the Rephaim. Moses had defeated them and taken their land. The people of Israel never did drive out the Geshurites and the Maacathites, they're still there, living in Israel. Levi was the only tribe that did not receive an inheritance. The fire gift offerings to God, the God of Israel, are their inheritance, just as he told them. Reuben. To the tribe of Reuben, clan by clan, Moses gave the land from Arah at the edge of the Arnon gorge and the town in the middle of the valley, including the tableland around Medba, Heshbon on the tableland with all its towns, Dibon, Bamoth Baal, Beth Baal-meon, Hahaz, Kedemoth, Mephath, Kiriathaim, Sibma, Zerath Shahar on Valley Mountain, Beth Peor, the slopes of Pisgah, Beth Shemoth, and all the cities of the tableland, the whole kingdom of Sihon king of the Amorites, who ruled at Heshbon, whom Moses put to death along with the princes of Midian, Evi, Rechem, Zur, Hur, and Reba, who lived in that country, all puppets of Sihon. In addition to those killed in battle, Balaam son of Beor, the soothsayer, was put to death by the people of Israel. The boundary for the Reubenites was the bank of the Jordan River. This was the inheritance of the Reubenites, their villages and cities, according to their clans. Gad. To the tribe of Gad, clan by clan, Moses gave the territory of Jazer and all the towns of Gilead and half the Ammonite country as far as Arah or near Rabbah, the land from Heshbon to Ramoth Mizpah and Bethnaim, and from Mahanaim to the region of Debir, in the valley, Beth Haram, Beth Nimrah, Sukkah, and Zaphon, with the rest of the kingdom of Sihon king of Heshbon, the east side of the Jordan, north to the end of the sea of Kinnereth. This was the inheritance of the Gadites, their cities and villages, clan by clan. Half-tribe of Manasseh. To the half-tribe of Manasseh, clan by clan, Moses gave the land stretching out from Mahanaim, all of Bashan, which is the entire kingdom of Og king of Bashan, and all the settlements of Jair in Bashan, 60 towns in all. Half of Gilead with Ashtarot and Edrei, the royal cities of Og in Bashan, belong to the descendants of Machir, a son of Manasseh, in other words, the half-tribe of the children of Machir, for their clans. This is the inheritance that Moses gave out when he was on the plains of Moab across the Jordan east of Jericho. But Moses gave no inheritance to the tribe of Levi. God, the God of Israel, is their inheritance, just as he told them. Land west of the Jordan. Here are the inheritance allotments that the people of Israel received in the land of Canaan. Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the heads of the family clans made the allotments. Each inheritance was assigned by lot to the 9½ tribes, just as God had commanded Moses. Moses had given the 2½ tribes their inheritance east of the Jordan, but hadn't given an inheritance to the Levites, as he had to the others. Because the sons of Joseph had become 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim, they gave no allotment to the Levites, but they did give them cities to live in with pasture rights for their flocks and herds. The people of Israel followed through exactly as God had commanded Moses. They apportioned the land. Caleb. The people of Judah came to Joshua at Gilgal. Caleb son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite spoke, "You'll remember what God said to Moses the man of God concerning you and me back at Kadesh Barnea. I was 40 years old when Moses the servant of God sent me from Kadesh Barnea to spy out the land. And I brought back an honest and accurate report. My companions who went with me discouraged the people, but I stuck to my guns, totally with God, my God. That was the day that Moses solemnly promised, 'The land on which your feet have walked will be your inheritance, you and your children's, forever.' Yes, you have lived totally for God. Now look at me, God has kept me alive, as he promised. It is now 45 years since God spoke this word to Moses, years in which Israel wandered in the wilderness. And here I am today, 85 years old. I'm as strong as I was the day Moses sent me out. I'm as strong as ever in battle, whether coming or going. So give me this hill country that God promised me. You yourself heard the report, that the Anakim were there with their great fortress cities. If God goes with me, I will drive them out, just as God said." Joshua blessed him. He gave Hebron to Caleb son of Jephunneh as an inheritance. Hebron belongs to Caleb son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite still today, because he gave himself totally to God, the God of Israel. The name of Hebron used to be Kiriath Arba, named after Arba, the greatest man among the Anakim. And the land had rest from war. Judah. The lot for the people of Judah, their clans, extended south to the border of Edom, to the wilderness of Zin in the extreme south. The southern border ran from the tip of the Salt Sea south of the Tongue, it ran southward from Scorpion's Pass, went around Zin and just south of Kadesh Barnea, then it ran past Hezron, ascended to Adar, and curved around to Karka, from there it passed along to Asmon. Came out at the brook of Egypt, ending at the sea. This is the southern boundary. The eastern boundary, the Salt Sea up to the mouth of the Jordan. The northern boundary started at the shallows of the sea at the mouth of the Jordan, went up to Beth Hogla and around to the north of Beth Araba and to the stone of Bohan son of Reuben. The border then ascended to Debir from Trouble Valley and turned north toward Gilgal, which lies opposite Red Pass, just south of the gorge. The border then followed the waters of En Shemesh and ended at En Rogel. The border followed the valley of Ben Hinnom along the southern slope of the Jebusite ridge, that is, Jerusalem. It ascended to the top of the mountain opposite Hinnom Valley on the west, at the northern end of Rephaim Valley. The border then took a turn at the top of the mountain to the spring, the waters of Nephtoah, and followed the valley out to Mount Ephron, turned toward Baalah, that is, Kiriath Jearim, took another turn west of Baalah to Mount Seir, curved around to the northern shoulder of Mount Jearim, that is, Kesalon, descended to Beth Shemesh, and crossed to Timnah. The border then went north to the ridge of Ekron, turned toward Shikharon, passed along to Mount Baalah, and came out at Jabneel. The border ended at the sea. The western border, the coastline of the Great Sea. This is the boundary around the people of Judah for their clans. Joshua gave Caleb son of Jephunneh a section among the people of Judah, according to God's command. He gave him Kiriath Arba, that is, Hebron. Arba was the ancestor of Anak. Caleb drove out 3 Anakim from Hebron, Sheshai, Ahiman, and Talmah, all descendants of Anak. He marched up from there against the people of Debir. Debir used to be called Kiriath Sepher. Caleb said, "Whoever attacks Kiriath Sepher and takes it, I'll give my daughter Aksah to him as his wife." Othniel son of Kenaz, Caleb's brother, took it, so Caleb gave him his daughter Aksah as his wife. When she arrived she got him to ask for farmland from her father. As she dismounted from her donkey Caleb asked her, "What would you like?" She said, "Give me a marriage gift. You've given me desert land, now give me pools of water." And he gave her the upper and the lower pools. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the people of Judah, clan by clan. The southern towns of the tribe of Judah in the Negev were near the boundary of Edom, Kabzeel, Eder, Jagur, Kena, Dimonah, Adadah, Kadesh, Hazor, Ithnan, Ziph, Telem, Belath, Hazor Hadadah, Kirioth Hezron, that is, Hazor, Ammam, Shema, Moladah, Hazar-Gaddah, Heshmon, Bethpelet, Hazar-Shual. Beersheba, Beziodia, Baalah, Iim, Izem, Eltalad, Kezel, Hormah, Ziklag, Madmenah, Sanzanah, Lebaoth, Shilham, and Rimmon, a total of 29 towns and their villages. In the Shephelah, the western foothills, there were, Eshtaol, Zorah, Ashna, Zanoah, and Ganim, Tapwah, Inam, Jarmuth, Adullam, Sakah, Azekah, Sha'araim, Adidheim, and Gadira, or Gadirathaim, 14 towns and their villages. Zanan, Hadashah, Baal Gad, Dilian, Mizpah, Joktheel, Lachish, Bozkath, Eglon, Caban, Lamas, Kitlish, Gedroth, Beth Dagon, Nama, and Makkedah, 16 towns and their villages. Libnah, Ether, Ashan, Ephah, Ashna, Nezab, Keilah, Akzib, and Mareshah, 9 towns and their villages. Ekron with its towns and villages, from Ekron, west to the sea, all that bordered Ashdod with its villages, Ashdod with its towns and villages, Gaza with its towns and villages all the way to the brook of Egypt. The Great Sea is the western border. In the hill country, Shamir, Jatir, Sukkot, Dana, Kiriath Sunnah, that is, Debir, Anab, Eshtemoa, Anam, Goshen, Halan, and Gilo, 11 towns and their villages. Arab, Duma, Eshan, Janam, Beth Tapwah, Aphekah, Humta, Kiriath Arba, that is, Hebron, and Zair, 9 towns and their villages. Mon, Carmel, Ziph, Juttah, Jezreel, Jokdeam, Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 towns and their villages. Halhul, Beth Zur, Geder, Ma'arath, Bethanath, and Eltekon, 6 towns and their villages. Kiriath Baal, that is, Kiriath Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 towns and their villages. In the wilderness, Beth Arabah, Middan, Sekaka, Nibshan, the city of salt, and Engedi, 6 towns and their villages. The people of Judah couldn't get rid of the Jebusites who lived in Jerusalem. The Jebusites stayed put, living alongside the people of Judah. They are still living there in Jerusalem.